bad.
Yeah. And something I always think about whenever I'm thinking about someone fighting against Little Mac is how well do your throws knock someone off the stage? And if Sonic's just sitting with his back to the ledge and you back throw him, it's almost a free edge
You
guard.
know, like once Little Mac gets to 90 and Sonic's camping the ledge, it gets so hard for Little Mac to get back to stage. And especially someone who's also good at edge guarding with Sonic. And he has so few options. We'll see how this goes for Kwaz, but...
And you will rarely see a Little Mac agree to go to Smashville. We are starting at Town and City. And we'll see how
there are so many stages that Little Mac struggles with, but what Kwaz has to do in this matchup is get off to a lead. Oh.
And they're restarting something.
He had it, and then something happened.
Guessing there was a controller malfunction.
I'm guessing Reed tried to shield something.
And then it did not shield.
Shield did not come out.
That's a problem in this game. Turns out shielding is pretty good.
Yeah.
Who knew?
It's probably like the best thing you can do in most situations.
I mean, it's not going to win you a game by itself, but it's definitely crucial. And getting back into it, PowPow putting on his music. I've got mixed feelings towards the Kwaz victory punch in the air, but I think I mostly find it entertaining.
I'll play contrarian and say that I'm not okay with that. Kwaz is going to have to play patient. He's going to have to play evasive. And it's so hard to do that when you're playing at Sonic, but you can't commit to so much. The Reed also, PowPow has to keep the game at his pace. Because Little Mac's jab goes through spin dash unless you hit the iframes for it.
And that is one thing Little Mac definitely has in the matchup that a lot of people don't, is a way to kind of deal with a Sonic that's camping you out.
Yeah. And it's like you have to, as hard as it is for Sonic, you have to hit between Little Mac.
Oh, down to forward smash, taking that stock
Kwaz proving me wrong. I said I would do it, and I'm doing it.
And that back throw already putting in work. That makes me so nervous.
But on a stage like this, if Kwaz gets KO punch, which he'll have very shortly.
Yeah, 10% is already enough for this to go off the top, especially if he's probably going to try to confirm it into down tilt. So it requires extra special.
Ooh. Jeez, I thought he was going to let go of the jab sooner, but now it's situations like these where, yep, he's gone.
And that was just one mistake from Kwaz. He's been playing this very well, and that's all it takes.
And it's like you have to commit as Mac, but like if you jump low, Spring becomes that much more dangerous. So Kwaz still with a percentage advantage on even having an advantage state right now, but I think PowPow needs to slow it down a little bit.
Gets back to the ground using the platforms. That's the one thing that this stage does provide PowPow, is that if he doesn't feel like playing, he can disengage on those platforms relatively easy.
He does have 4 minutes here, and he keeps getting hit by Mac's just amazing jab.
Ooh, goes for the jump read at that up B.
Who would have thought a boxer would have a good jab? A guy who goes toe-to-toe with Iron Mike Tyson. Ooh, that forward tilt. Ooh,
second hit. He shielded the first one, thought he could get away with a punish, but that second hit of forward tilt taking PowPow's stock.
And the thing about that match, too, that really surprised me is there was like very little doubt, after the first 30 seconds that, in my mind anyway, that Kwaz was going to win that.
Kwaz was definitely playing well, and it looked like he had all the matchup knowledge he really needed to get through it. He didn't need to bank on any, matchup issues. Literally, I think the one time that PowPow broke neutral on his own on purpose, he got the stock.
Yeah.
So Kwaz really does have to be careful, but definitely felt like that was Kwaz's match to control.
And it's so hard because Mac's moves are so fast, and what Sonic really needs to do is get in between those. And you have to be usually confident in those reads. I guess that's my biggest worry for Kwaz at this point, given the advantage he's in, is if PowPow starts to get momentum, that's where it gets real dangerous for Mac. Also on the other side, too. Kwaz is just having his way with him.
And he is. The dash dancing really seems to be messing with PowPow just a little bit, allowing Kwaz to get dash attacks and forward smashes that otherwise seem kind of out of the blue.
Ooh, I'm surprised he didn't grab him there. But like, and the thing is, like, Sonic's jab comes out in frame 3. It's definitely his fastest option on the ground.
And one thing I've noticed Kwaz doing very well, that was a great down tilt conversion, but is a lot of Sonic's, how you need to play against them is to punish their landings, especially if they're going to do something like spin dash into spring. He's using the up tilt very well to make sure he covers most of Sonic's options.
And it's like if you're not ready for something like that, that hits so much farther above his head than you would even realize.
Yeah. Especially because he leans down to do it. Like, he's such a small dude.
Ooh. I don't know what that was, but that was cool.
Intimidating. That's what that was. Just
scary.
ran up and did it.
Okay.
Did not have his
Not
jump.
enough.
I almost would think he was trying to get hit by the spring.
Yeah.
Hoping PowPow would save him.
Because then he can kind of drift in and maybe get hit with up or up to the ledge. Oh, that was so dangerous! Why would you do that?
Oh no! Just held that. Oh.
Does anybody know what words taste like?
I think Sonic officially knows what a fist tastes like.
I need to get ready to eat them. Said it would do it.
You did. And now PowPow's got, like...
I've lost my license to make any sort of judgment the whole rest of the day.
Who gave it to you in the first place?
Yeah, that's a good
What
question.
kind of shady back alley place did you go to get a license to have opinions? But I actually really appreciate what PowPow's doing right now. If you are having trouble in a matchup and you rush right into the next game, you're not giving yourself ample time to figure out what I'm doing wrong, what I'm getting punished
Why am
for.
I losing?
Right. So you have, I think, in the rule set something like a minute allotted between each game. Take the time if you need it.
And against Mac in any game, you might as well try to take that because the character itself is so momentum driven.
Need to break that up.
You just feel like it's the snowball rolling down a mountain.
Yeah. PowPow.
He's got to pick a new song. I don't know if he still does this, but he used to like listen to Sonic songs all the time.
Probably.
I'm trying to think of like a good one. Because
be
for as
one
bad
that's
as his
like-
games have been, the music's usually pretty top notch.
And realistically, every time he started his own conversion, it's gone really well.
Yeah.
He's taken the stock from it. He just needs to figure out
Just
how to
needs
get those openings.
Just gotta dial it back a little bit. Yeah.
That's true. Maybe you got to be prepared
play it
to
like,
time him out.
Don't play it like Green Hill Zone. Play it more like Marble Zone.
Battlefield is
If
the
you catch
choice.
my drift. See, I'm surprised he almost like ran it back. Now that I think about it, with Battlefield as an option.
I think the first time he thought it was just a fluke, and then he didn't give Kwaz enough respect. Because it looked like he went in with the same game plan and just, I'm going to do it better this time.
Yeah. And it, you know, Kwaz is so, you know, it feels like he's so sure on his conversions. And there's a slight bit of hesitation for PowPow. Or the risk is so much better for him, or worse for him. He's going to take so much damage.
I do really like that PowPow's giving himself ways to land.
Yeah.
Because, like, previously in another game, after that spring, Kwaz would have almost a pre-punish. But he could land on a platform, Kwaz couldn't really do much about it.
Well, I like that spin dash there. Because he's been going in so much that Kwaz is just conditioned to expect it. Oh, that
had that read.
grab. Ooh, that was such a good spring!
Put it exactly where it needed to be.
This is how PowPow is going to make it out. Because if he happens to win this game, it's like you have... Ooh, that was a well-timed roll, too.
And this is, I think, exactly what he's playing far more patient.
Yep.
Went to the platform, so now Kwaz has to do all the
now
approaching.
he's winning for the first time in this set. So now Kwaz has to take the game back.
And you saw it there with that risky up B that Kwaz did. He felt like he needed to punish him right then and there.
Gets wrong hit, but
I appreciate also that PowPow is using the spring spread guard just because Mac's side Bs in particular hit so hard, and sometimes you get that reverse impact.
And that's a situation where you need to know what their max panic option is. It's frame 1 and it's faster than everything that you have.
And this is
dangerous.
You gotta take some deep breaths if you're PowPow right now. You do not want to get down tilted twice in the KO
punch. And if he
punch.
dash attack right off the Angel platform, I'm thinking he did not do that.
But got rid of that KO punch. Now it's once again PowPow's game to control.
Up tilts though. Gotta land. Surprised he didn't air dodge there, because he could have made it back to ground without Mac being able to do much. I like that.
That's the first time I think we've seen Kwaz let go of shield in the middle of a spin dash and actually get hit by it. He'd been very good about that previously.
Like one thing Ooh!
So much damage. Downward angled ones is so much percent.
Kwaz is mounting that comeback.
And this is what Kwaz needs to do. He needs to get in his head, break his mentality, and it's on PowPow to keep his composure. He's been winning this whole game.
Okay, not quite. Ooh, I like that counter there from Kwaz. Make him think about
141% rage. I do not know when that down tilt up B starts killing when you got this much rage.
I'm guessing around now.
Get sent off the side. Can he get the spring?
No. I'm surprised he didn't. I'm surprised he didn't back throw him there, because that would have taken him off stage the same way.
And this is the second KO punch of the stock.
Okay, up throw. Not going to kill yet. He doesn't have enough rage. I always think like 180 is a good benchmark. Up tilt.
I don't think I've ever seen that kill.
I have. I've done it before.
But getting through that platform, I don't know if he had another option that was going to be fast enough to catch Kwaz there. That was a really smart play by PowPow.
That move is a commitment too. I think that's probably his worst move.
Yeah, it's either that or down tilt probably, right?
Yeah, I always think down tilt can at least 2-frame really easily.
But
that's what I use it for.
And now I think that's right. But PowPow took his time. He changed a lot in between games 2 and 3.
And this is where you like do it again. Because I mean that almost slipped away from him. He had a 100% lead when he was at 0 in his second stock, and excuse me.
And
who would you ban?
Lilat would be my guess.
I guess, but
yeah, and that's what I was about to say is I feel like PowPow did get a lot out of the platforms last game, and I don't know how this is going to affect.
Did you play More Glory when this game first came out? Kwaz has already blown away my expectations, and he's been playing really well, so I'm not going to judge PowPow for not banning this stage. I will reserve future judgment. Okay?
Does not get the jab through the spin dash.
I like that homing attack there.
And this is the first time I think we've seen them. I was going to say go blow for blow, but
I appreciate the attempt. It gave him center.
And he got
stopped to the back here.
The KO punch.
Yeah, see, like, that's a spot where you want a platform to land on.
Yep. Because even
in up smash, like that's
couldn't have
killed. That's where a Lilat platform is.
Yep. And Kwaz getting back to stage. PowPow has to deal with once again a Mac, or maybe not. That was a very good forward air.
Jeez.
So I don't think it's a good idea to go boxing with little Mac. Yeah.
Ooh, good tech. Good tech.
Dash attack sending too far up to actually kill.
Ooh, he missed it. Looks like he might have missed a jump there. I don't know why you were back there, but
that was a beautiful turnaround.
He's still playing him, and I'm not. Okay. Back up. Yep.
I think that's just
Okay. During that pause, I was worried. I was worried.
It was like he's dead. Is he? But
no,
sure enough.
More like, was he gonna back throw him or no?
Gotcha. Kwaz again with a slight lead.
That's like one other thing we haven't really talked about is like if attacks like flank like that, Sonic's animation for that is terrible.
I mean, it's
and
not.
I feel like Max rebounds, faster in those situations.
Those are actually somewhat dependent on the amount of.
Oh, is he dead?
Smash. But those clanks are somewhat dependent on the moves that clank.
The confidence in Kwaz though to go for that edge guard.
Right. But he knew that if PowPow did anything to hit him, that PowPow would die. If you're gonna do a move instead of grab the ledge, he couldn't make it back.
I'm seeing a lot of spin dashes from really far away, which is I don't know about PowPow, but that's what I do when I get nervous. Like you're forcing something. Oh no, and there it is.
Eat through that forward tilt.
Kwaz takes it in what I would imagine is an upset. PowPow's been doing really well at a lot of the locals he's attended.
It was very good. And you got the Kwaz pop off.
Oof.
Forward smash. Oh, and then the homing attack.
Yeah, see, like,
Oh!
I've died to that a lot.
But it was a great read by Kwaz. He knew that really PowPow was kind of out of options. He could do that up smash and then wait. If PowPow goes low, lets it go and resets.
What do we got now? What do we got here?
Looks like, is that
Nameless?
Snoofle and Nameless? Yeah. So one of the Chicago Travelers versus Nameless.